The 2K community is at war. Everybody's arguing over what takes skill and what doesn't on NBA 2K23 since the game has released. Chris ZT Tycino's duo said these dudes are saying finally 2K has a skill gap while rim running on 6'9" ISO builds, and that tweet blew up. A lot of people are going back and forth about steals on the game. Are steals too overpowered? Are they not? Let me know in the comment section down below. But Cole the Man went to Twitter and posted his record where he has an insane, very high win percentage of 773 wins and 17 losses, saying safe to say that there is a skill gap on 2K23. So Cole the Man has a 6'8" or 6'9" point guard. He's able to go 773 and 17 or whatever. Is that skill? In the comment section down below. Let me know your opinion right now about rim running and all that stuff that everyone's talking about. Is it skill or is it not? So anyway, as you guys see, I'm in the rec trying to get my 100 rec wins for the season quest so I can try to hit legend. Yes, I'm grinding for legend. It is a very long grind on 2K23. Now, if people back out of the game, the whole team quits, it gives you a win on your player card, but it does not give you a win on your season quest, which is pretty tough. It's pretty frustrating. I'm not going to lie. I've already sent that in internally. Hopefully they fix it. But Nadex made a tweet, which is the same problem I've had as well. And he said, if you make a new build, does your rec wins carry over from the season? Then he posted a picture saying new build and nothing carries over. So I've got some friends where their wins do carry over, but I've got like 7 builds, as you guys know, and each and every one of them say 9 rec wins except for my guard. I make a new build, 60 overall. I get the rec quest. It says 9 wins. 2K, please fix it. I love playing guard. It's really fun, but I would like to play on other positions as well. I don't want to grind to legend on one build. And I know 2K didn't mean to do that. It wouldn't make any sense for 2K to make people grind to legend on one build, because then people would make less builds, which would make them less money. So hopefully they go in there and fix that. But as you all heard from the intro, the 2K community is at war with gameplay. So I had an interesting idea and I figured you guys would really like it. I brought together a bunch of big content creators and asked them how they felt about the game. What is their opinion on the gameplay right now? What things need to be changed, if there is anything that needs to be changed? And that is what we're going to go over. So the first thing is from Phantoms, a reply where this guy said, paint defense is fine, LOL, if you have good perimeter D, it won't be easy for people to beat you in the first place. He said, just stop, dude. 20/30% contested layup should not be going in if you have to green every jump shot. That encourages people to only drive to the rim. So if you think about it from a real basketball perspective, it's very hard to say, oh, just because it's 20% contested, you should miss every single layup. In my opinion, a 20% contested layup is much different than a 20% contested three-pointer. It's the most efficient shot in basketball, right under the rim. Zion Williamson is not going down. He's like, oh, I got touched, no, and then throws the ball out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? He bullies through that because he's got high driving layup, he's got strength, and he finishes with contact. So in my opinion, it really depends on, one, the offensive player's stats, their badges, the position, the angle they drove on, and then of course the defender, their badges, their stats in the paint, the angle they drove on. Did they jump at the right time? Did they wait? Did they jump late? Did they jump early? All that type of stuff is very hard to really just put together and say, no, you should never make a 20% contested layup. I really don't think that's how it should be, but that is my opinion. Now, of course, paint defense, the 40%, the 50%, those can definitely go down a little bit, but I'm just talking about 20% contested, 30. It also depends on the defender and the person on offense as well. Like I said, every single thing factors in. Laker fan gave his opinion and said they are probably rim running you because you're playing for plucks and bumps. B, if the other team has taken 9 baskets in a row in the paint, has it ever went through your brain to gap them more and bait them into actually shooting? C, get bigger. So I'm going to give you guys my opinion on paint defense. Like you've already heard if you've been actually watching the videos consistently, like throughout, you've heard me talk about it previously, but I got a pure lockdown, and I'll tell you what, if you have on your defense and you jump at the right time and bump and, you know, all that type of stuff, paint defense exists on 2K23. You can stop a lot of rim runners. Yes, I have lost to people that quote unquote rim run. I'm not unbeatable, but I stop a lot of people who would beat a lot of other people by just rim running. You know, I have to make them shoot. I bait them into saying, oh, I have a shot, then I'm there for the contest. Then they go, oh, I got the lane. No, I bumped them before they get the layup, and then it's 40% contested. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. It's not going to constantly happen to someone who has high defense and high skill. I'm telling you right now, it's not. So a lot of people are complaining with 70 block, 70 interior defense, bronze chasedown artist. But I do understand people's complaints that have high defense and show clips of them jumping at the right time and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So it really just depends on who the player is, when they're jumping, and of course the player on offense, their skill level, the angle they take, and all that stuff. But anyway, Laker fan went to Twitter and he said 2 straight years of the dunk meter being in the game, and I see someone use it maybe once every 200 games. Guys, if you got a slasher and you got posterizer, learn how to use that dunk meter. It is super good. That's going to make you a lot better at the game, or win a lot more, whatever you want to call it. But Laker fans' last tweet, he tripled down and he said complaining about anything on defense in this game is wild. You gotta be bad. He said if you think it's too good, that's fair. I'm saying to complain about getting beat a certain way defensively. And I just see a lot of people, like, I know defense is not perfect, but I see so many people that just aren't that good at the game, using the game being bad as an excuse every single year. This is an issue with the game. Adapt. I'm going to adapt in any sort of way. I don't have a single guard over 6'6". I got 4 guard builds. Now this build is a lock slasher. It was made to be a secondary ball handler / lock. It is 6'7". It's able to play primary a little bit, but you see what I'm saying? I don't even have a 6'8" or a 6'9" that everyone's complaining about to sit there and rim run and whatever. I don't even got any of that, and we still got like a 94-95 win percent, bro. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to play meta to be the meta in 2K23. Now, of course, in competitive pro-am, you know, 2K League, yes, of course, stage, but that is like 1 to 2% of the community. Very little amount of people that are watching this video can relate to that and be like, oh, I have to play meta. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Fleezes Flexen said Unpluckable does not work at all. Those steals need to be nerfed. And then he also posted a clip saying they are having a reach off competition mid-game and y'all think the steals are okay. Hall of Fame Unpluckable, by the way. So he really does think that Unpluckable needs that buff, which is what I said in the last video. I don't think that steals are overpowered, but I do think that if you have Hall of Fame Unpluckable or something, maybe you should get a little bit less, you know, gold Unpluckable. You should get a little bit less of those animations where like the lock just runs up and takes it and stuff. But if you got bronze and silver and I got 99 steel and Hall of Fame glove and I'm reaching at the right time, yeah, you do need to be putting that thing down. That's why I made the build. Anyway, into the YouTubers' opinions about NBA 2K23. It's about to get really good. So we're going to start with Joe Knows. He said, honestly, I think the gameplay is solid AF. I haven't played every game mode heavily yet, but the only thing I see is sometimes plucks can be a little crazy, so maybe tone it down slightly, but I feel like there are ways to avoid the plucks, at least in Park, so overall, I like the gameplay. And that's pretty much exactly what I would say. Like, yeah, I do have a pure lockdown build. I've got 7 different builds. I got multiple different play styles. I've played on the guard. As you guys seen, I'm trying to hit legend. A lot of other people are trying to hit legend. It was just double level in the rec. Now I know rec is not competitive pro-am, but there was definitely a lot of sweat teams we were playing that are trying to hit legend to get that double level, all that type of stuff. And the most turnovers I've had in a game, with about 70 rec games played now, or 80 something like that. I have about 58 wins on my quest, but like, you know, 70 something because of people quitting, and it doesn't count. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I've only had 4 turnovers a few times. That was the max. I've had 4 like 3 times. That is the most turnovers I've had in a game, and of course they were not all on ball plucks, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know about competitive comp stage, 10K court, competitive pro-am. I haven't played that. I'm sure that those locks are getting some really good steals, but that is like 1% of the community. I'm talking to you guys playing Park. I've played both sides. I do not think with high Unpluckable that it is that big of a deal. Now, current gen, I don't know about. I've heard it's really bad on current gen or last gen, whatever you want to call it, but I'm only speaking for next gen because that's what I've personally played. I haven't even downloaded last gen yet. Anyway, Laker fan has his response. He said, close shot mashing, in my opinion, like guards that run past you and will just sit there every time in the paint and act like they're 7'3" inside from last year, is the worst. To be fair though, I think it's just a defensive adjustment to not let them get there in the first place, but that's probably my biggest complaint, if any. I'm a little biased on the steal stuff because we've been dodging locks all day on threes, just giving the ball to whoever has the worst defender on them. So that is what I like about Laker fan. Very few people in the community will do something and then be like, oh, actually, it's probably my fault. I'm probably jumping early. I probably didn't reach at the right time. You know, all those type of things. That's what a lot of people need to do. Hold yourself accountable and you will get better at 2K. If you say, I really did mess up right there, I really did jump late, I really didn't, reach in the lane at the right time. And for the lockdowns, as you just seen, he's playing keep away. It's called keep away from the lockdown. You have 2 ball handlers on the court, give it to the guy that doesn't have the lockdown on him and let him cook. Make them work to get that switch if they switch, you know what I'm saying? Make them really have to try to get that switch if they want to consistently hyper switch, all that type of stuff. There's many things you can do rather than just go, oh, the game is bad. There's a lot of times this year where I'm like, oh, 2K, come on. And then I really just sit there and I'm like, I'm blaming 2K, but I reached early. I was not there at the right time. I didn't jump at the right. So many things where I want to blame 2K, but then I realize it's actually my fault. Now, there's a lot of things that happen that's BS. Trust me, I know. But I'm saying there's a lot less than most people think. They just got to start blaming themselves. But anyway, our next one is from Double H, who said, I'd say nothing except maybe steals need to be changed, but even if they didn't patch that, it wouldn't bother me. If you're complaining about paint defense, you either have a bad build or it's a skill issue. Thank you, Double H. Now, yes, like I said, there's some crazy stuff with the paint, right? You're able to hit some crazy shots sometimes, but I got a pure lockdown build now. I have a 7-foot popper that has Hall of Fame anchor, Hall of Fame chase down, and I can tell you, paint defense is not nearly as bad as so many people say. Yeah, you can show clips like this right here where I green a heavily contested on a guard or whatever, but it's not consistently happening. I'm not just running down the court and greening it. Plus, I do have an 88 driving layup, Hall of Fame pro touch, and I timed the layup correctly with layup and dunk boost on for the videos, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just saying, it's not nearly as bad when you actually upgrade your build and have the right badges, jump at the right time, and you're in the right position. I'm telling you, it's not as bad as a lot of people think. Maybe you just didn't put enough defense on your build, or you're not playing enough defense in general. Anyway, Clutch said, oh my god, badge, the number one thing 2K23 needs to change for it to be the absolute best 2K of all time is the steals. I can have Hall of Fame unpluckable 92 ball handle with play take and still get ripped. It makes it feel like I'm a 60 overall with no badges, with no ball handle, and no play take. Everything else is great though, in my opinion. So I do want to say one thing real quick though. I specifically remember many times in older 2Ks, like in 2K19, I had play take on a lot of my builds, and I would get ripped a lot in play take. It was actually a joke that I have with my friends that when I had play take, I had less ball handles. So this isn't some random thing. I would always have centers come up to me with a 40 steal and steal it. Now, I will tell you 100% on my builds that don't have a high steal on next gen, I'm not getting steals like that. I am not. Now, I've heard current gen is bad. Like, you can just walk up to people with a 25 steal and steal it. I don't know because I have not played the game personally, but I can tell you on next gen, it is not that way. You need to have a high steal and glove to consistently get a lot of on-ball steals. Passing lanes you can get with anybody because they throw it right to your face. You can hit the button and, go pick up the ball. But I'm saying on-ball steals does not happen as nearly as much as a lot of people say. And I'm not just sitting here saying the game is perfect. As you guys seen in the beginning of the video, I literally said an issue with the game right now is the rec wins not counting when people quit and stuff like that. I've voiced my opinions in the last news video about some issues like the animations resetting and all that stuff. I'm not saying the game is perfect. I'm not just sitting here, I'm never going to say anything bad about the game because I want a logo. No, I'm still speaking about issues in the game, but I'm giving you my opinion on the gameplay from what I've seen so far 3 weeks in. Things can change maybe when everybody has all their core badges and they have extra badges and stuff, but I think the gameplay is pretty solid right now, in my opinion. There's a few things that can be changed. Right now, I'd give it about an 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. It cannot be perfect. I just don't think 2K or any game can make a perfect gameplay. But Flexen said, honestly, just fix unpluckable and the game is fine. So many people are fine with this game. They have 1 or 2 issues with the gameplay. I think 2K has done a solid job. Grinding said, honestly, only complaint I have are steals. Not passing lane steals, but on-ball steals need to be nerfed. Now, I like how he really showed us and said not passing lane steals, because passing lane steals are amazing. They feel just like 2K20. My only complaint about the passing lanes is you don't pick the ball up enough. If I have a 99 steal, I need to be Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson catching Jerry Rice, snagging those out of the air. You know what I'm saying? I need to stop swatting it 4 times in a possession like my team will swat it. I'll swat it, then they throw another passing lane that should have been a steal, and it goes right back to the person on offense. Then they have a wide open 3 or a wide open dunk. Like, catch the ball. I have a 99 steal. catch it. Now, of course, people that have a lower steal should not be catching it as much, but you got to be rewarded more for being in that lane. You are kind of like 2K20. Like I said, you're able to really get in those lanes, but 2K, and the only thing I would change is to be, if you have a high steal, catch it more. You know what I'm saying? Stop dropping it. Stop swatting the ball. Stop hitting the ball and just catch it. Anyway, watch one of these last 2 videos, guys. Drop a like if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Let me know how you feel about me giving you out, you know, the YouTubers' opinions on the game and stuff. Should I do that more? Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's your boy Bashful. You've been plugged in, and I'm out. Peace.